Happy Sabbath! Welcome to Sabbath School.
This was me, this I know, for the Bible tells me so. Little one once belonged, they are weak, but he is strong. Yes, Jesus loves me. Yes, Jesus loves me. Yes, Jesus loves me. The Bible tells me so.
Yay! Can you guys clap? Yay! Good job.
Good morning and happy Sabbath. Today we're going to tell the story of David and Goliath. And I've heard that this is a favorite story of some of you, such as KJ and Skylar. So here it goes. There once was a boy named David. And David was not very old, he was young. And David helped take care of the sheep. And he had to fight off lions and bears to keep his sheep safe. But he knew that God helped protect them. So one day, David's father told him to go take food to his brother. Now his brother was in the army. And this is his brother. And they were fighting the Philistines. Dun dun dun. And all the soldiers were scared. So David asked his brother, "Why are all the soldiers scared?" And he said, "Well, because the Philistines have a giant." Does anyone know what the giant's name is? What is the giant's? Yes, that's right. It's Goliath. Goliath was tall and strong and big. And he had a sword and a shield. And he would yell, "Anyone who's brave enough to fight me, come and fight me." But the soldiers were all scared. So David went to the king, King Saul, and he said, "King Saul, I will fight Goliath. I am brave because I have God on my side. He'll help protect me." And Saul said, "What? You're just a little boy. But if you want to fight him, I'll let you. But you have to wear all my armor." Clunk, clink, clunk, 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 clink. "Oh no," says David. "I cannot wear all this armor. Oh, I can't even see. It's too heavy. I can't even walk. No, thank you. I am going to go fight the giant the way I know how." So he took off all the armor, and David went down to the stream. And at the stream, he started to collect some rocks.
Count the rock.
Okay, Dylan's got the bag, and we're going to count out the rocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Did you count with me? So we had 5 rocks. And David had a slingshot. So he went up there to that soldier, that giant. And you know what Goliath said? "What? Did you send a little boy? I am gonna clobber you." But David said, "No, Goliath, I have God on my side. So he got his sling, put the rock in there, and he twirled it around his head. Now this slingshot's a little different. But you pulled it back and phew! And David slung that rock. Whoosh, bam! Hit Goliath right in the head. And you know what happened? Yep, you're right. Bonk. He fell down dead. Little David had defeated Goliath. And he knew that it was not because of him, but it was because of God. So, the message I want you to take away from this today is that most of you are pretty small. And sometimes as parents, we feel a little bit small in this big world.
Can I take these off?
And if you trust in God and believe in Him, yeah, you can. He will always protect you. So I have a Bible verse here that I wanted to read to you guys. And it says here, David said to the Philistines, "You come against me with sword and spear and javelin, but I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have defied." And that's 1 Samuel 17:45. So the short version is, I come against you in the name of the Lord, because He is our power. Alrighty, so I'm going to say a prayer now. If you can all fold your hands.
I'm not folding my hand.
And close your eyes and say, "Dear Jesus, please help us be brave." Amen.
Hello, boys and girls. Happy Sabbath to you. Today's story is about a young man who had many things go wrong. He had a lot of things go right in his life, but a lot of hard times too, and he kept his faith in God. So our lesson is about learning to keep our eyes on God, even when things are bad. Long time ago, there was a young man named Joseph. Joseph had a lot of brothers. He had 12 of them, in fact, 11 brothers. 10 of them were older than him. Now, Joseph went around telling dreams that he had had about how his brothers would someday be worshiping him. Not like a god, but just bowing down like to a king. Well, his brothers, who were older than him, did not like this. "How dare you? I won't bow down to you. You smell funny." They did not like Joseph at all. Well, one day, maybe it was Joseph's birthday, his father, named Jacob, came up to Joseph. "Joseph, my son, my favoriteest son, I love you so much. I want to give you a gift." "What's the gift, Dada?" said Joseph. Jacob said, "I got you a coat. A coat that's very expensive. It's got so many pretty colors. I want to give it to you because you are so important to me." "Oh, wow, what a beautiful coat. I will put it on right now." It fit perfectly. Joseph admired his coat. "Oh, it's so wonderful, Daddy. Thank you so much. I'm going to go show my brothers." "Oh, I think that's a good idea. Yes. Well, you go out. They're herding sheep far away. All right, go out and see them and show them your jacket. I'm sure they'll love it." So Joseph waved goodbye to his father and went out to find his brothers. He traveled a long way, walking many miles, many days. He finally came upon his brothers out herding sheep far away from their homes. "Hello, brothers! Hello," he said from a far way off. "Oh, there's that dreamer Joseph," said the brothers. "I don't like him. He thinks he's so great. He smells funny." "Well, maybe we teach him a lesson when he comes." Joseph came up and said, "Hello, brothers. Do you like my coat? It's made of many colors. It's beautiful, isn't it?" Grumbling. They grumbled more and more because they knew how much that coat would have cost, and their father never gave them anything. They decided they'd had enough of Joseph, so they grabbed him and they stripped off his coat. And they took him over to a well, a cistern, a hole in the ground, and they threw him in. They took the jacket and they tore it up, and then they went back to their father and they showed the father the jacket of Joseph. He must have been killed. Oh, how sad. Jacob, the father, was so upset. He cried and cried and cried. "My boy is gone. My boy is gone." What a terrible thing to happen to Joseph. Well, the brothers left the scene. Back in that hole, Joseph was there, and some slave traders came out. They grabbed Joseph out of that well, and they took him a long way away to Egypt, very, very, very far from their home. All that time, though, Joseph knew God was still watching him. He wasn't abandoned. He didn't know why this was happening, and it hurt his heart. But he stayed true in his faith. Well, off in this foreign land now, Joseph had a new job. Joseph managed the house of a very important businessman. He was in charge of Potiphar's household. Well, one day, Joseph, though he was very important, Joseph was accused of a crime he didn't even do. And he was thrown into prison. Away you go! Into jail. Into jail he went. Joseph, he's in prison now. Oh man, I didn't do anything wrong. And yet here I am. Things have gone from bad to worse. He thought he would never come out of there, but he knew even if he didn't come out, God had not abandoned him. God still loved him. And though things were hard, God was real, and God was true, and God was worthy of his praise. So he spent a number of years in that prison. But again, God was with him, and he was so smart that jailer actually put him in charge of the other prisoners. Well, after quite a while, he had a chance to show the king of all of Egypt that he was able to tell dreams and help. So they took him out of prison, they brought him before the king, and they said, the king had some dreams, and it became known that Joseph, with the power of God, could interpret what the dream was. So Joseph, true enough, when the king of Egypt said, "Hey, can you tell me what my dream means? Do you know these things?" Joseph says, "I don't, but a God in heaven does, and he'll tell what your dream is about." So he was told what the dream was. The Pharaoh had a dream about 7 skinny cows and 7 fat cows, and the skinny cows ate the fat cows, and everybody was scratching their heads and saying, wow, that king, he's got crazy dreams, doesn't he? I've never heard dreams that crazy before. Maybe tomorrow he'll dream about a snake and a walrus. Well, maybe, maybe not. But this day, Joseph was able to tell from the power of God, your dream means that there will be 7 very good years of crops, but that will be followed by 7 very bad years of crops. You need to prepare. Build storehouses, store grain, so when the bad years come, we'll have enough. Well, the king thought this was so great, this answer was so smart, so wise, that he actually said, hey, you get rid of those beggar clothes. You're now the second most important person in all of Egypt, and I want you in charge of all the stores and all the preparations. And so, Joseph was now in charge again. The story does go on from there. He meets his brothers again. He meets his brothers again. And he forgives them. And they're thankful for that. But at this point, at the very least, Joseph found that, well, what he had always believed. God was always with him, even when things were bad. And now that things were good again, it's the same God. And it's the same love of God. And it's the same forgiveness of God. God is true, whether things are good or whether things are bad in our lives. Joseph's perspective, his understanding, that was the most important. God is, and he's worthy of our praise. Thank you, Lord Jesus, for being our God. Thank you, God, for watching over us and for loving us so much. Amen. Well, I hope you have a good Sabbath, guys. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time.
Thank you for joining us. See you all next week. Bye.